Oh, good morning, everyone. Sorry, we are back at the Epistos this morning. Um, yeah, having some issues with my other 29-gallon. The lights decided, no, we don't want to be lights this morning. You know how lights are. So yeah, me and Mr. Mouse have to figure that out. I think those lights may just be gone. I don't know what happened. Good morning, Jody. Good morning, Only Oscars. Good morning, Nerdy Nerd. You should still be asleep, but we won't talk about that. Oh, all right. So, a couple of things I did want to talk about this morning. Since we're here with the episodes, first, let's start with all the goodies I got because I did get some goodies. Hopefully, y'all can see them. Hopefully, this tank has enough light. Let's see. Okay, so I got some Kin's fish food, and I'm gonna have to make a video on this. My lighting is just I don't have the ring light in here, so I was like, oh yeah. So my whole little setup this morning, yeah, I had to unset it up and bring it back in here. Man, but it is what it is. But I did get some Ken's fish food for these guys, and for McCory's, we got some premium krill pellets. Mhm. Sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes it does. But yeah, so yeah, got some yeah, let's go through what all I got real quick. So I got some Ken's Premium Krill pellets, the 2 millimeter size. I got some of the Ken's freeze dried Tubiflex worms, which we may stick some into this Apisto tank in a minute and see if they like those at all. I did get some more of the Ken's Ultra Hatchery flake. See if you guys can see it. I got a big bag of it. I got like a half-pound bag of this stuff. I know I should probably get more, but I want to see how they're gonna. I mean, that's a half-pound bag. That's huge. Um, I want to see how they're gonna do with all this first before I invest in a lot of it. I did get some new cichlid pellets. Oh no, those are the veggie flakes. Where did the cichlid pellets go? Oh yeah, and I got the whiskers, my bristle nose pleckos. I did get them some of these. What is going on? Does my camera have a? There we go. Some premium veggie wafers from Ken's Fish Food. I got a canister of these. This is like a quarter-pound of them. I think they've had. I'm pretty sure Nerd sent me those, and they do enjoy them. Those are like their favorite thing. Little snackies. How did you like the Ken's food? Only Oscars. Um, yeah, I did get the 1 millimeter cichlid pellets here. Can we see that? Whoa. And I know that Mr. and Mrs. Apisto do approve of these. They do like these. They gobbled up a bunch of them yesterday. I did open those yesterday. Now, the other thing I got, even though I am on a well, but I am kind of leery that sometimes they do um, put chlorine in it. I'm not exactly sure, but well, I mean, if the fish ate it, I mean, I guess that's good for the price of the food and the amount you get. I mean, you can't beat it. But I did get some of this sodium disulfate that Fish Nerd has been saying, hey, grab some of this stuff. So I did grab a big bag of this to condition my water with, just as a, little bit of insurance, or for times when I have to go source water, as we're going to have to go do again today. I'm a little flustered, if y'all can't tell. I am a wee bit flustered. I think that is all I got. Yeah, I think I just got the 5 things. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. So we have these 5 things to try. I do believe I know I've used the hatchery flake before, and all of my fish have enjoyed that. Um, and the plecos do enjoy the wafers. They enjoy Ken's wafers more than any of the other wafers I've tried. So I don't know what he's using there, but they do enjoy those. Krill pellets are new. I've never had these. I have used his veggie sticks too, for when I had mystery snails, and they did love those. Kind of, kind of. Um, I live in a community. Okay, we're gonna break it down to what it is. Okay, I own a mobile home, so yes, I live in a trailer park. No shame. It's my home. I own it. But the whole community is on a well. And we don't have public water. We have our own private water. And our community manager kind of controls the well. We've been trying to get her to put it on a generator, a backup generator, for years. And it just hasn't happened yet. So I just, because I don't actually get to oversee that well, I don't know what they're putting in the well. And yeah. And from time to time, we will get like a chlorine smell in our water, and I don't really like that so much. Not so much since we put the filtration system on the house that nerd, helped out with. Just told us how to do it, kind of thing. Um, it was you can, but you have to be strategic with it because you can't, like, my flooring, unless I reinforce the floor, I cannot have a tank bigger than a 40-gallon. It is just not safe. You risk it going through the floor. You don't want to do it. That's why, like, the biggest tank I have is a 29-gallon. I'm thinking they do. I'm thinking that's what it's got to be. Um, but yeah, like the biggest tank I have is a 29, and as long as like you have a working HVAC system that can pull humidity out of the house, that's also not going to create a problem. And it also it does the condition of your home too, because not all mobile homes are taken care of. I am lucky enough that I live in a community that's a lot nicer than some of the others. Um, they've really cleaned them up around here in the last few years. Morning, James Fish. Good to see you. So, I mean, there is that. They're trying to, at least the company that bought them out, there's goods and bad sides of it, but they are trying to clean the area up. And, it's, for the most part, it is nicer around here than it was before. They just packed us in like sardines. That I don't really like because we had a bunch of empty spaces and then they just shoved new homes in. Yeah, I would totally have that big tank if I could. And another thing that me and Mr. Mouse have talked about doing is building on an addition to the house. Like where our deck would be is like building like a a covered area, like a instead of having it as a deck, kind of like having it as a room. Yeah, some of the two-story ones are really nice. Kind of scares me, not gonna lie, a two-story one, but they are, you know, um, but I mean, they are some like some of the newer ones blow me away because they have like USB plugs everywhere and like for charging and charging stations like built in. It's kind of cool. But yeah, we do have the option that we can build on to our deck and like enclose it. And we have thought about doing that for like me a little fish area to where maybe I could get a bigger tank. But you know, we're trying to figure things out. The goal is one day for us to, get out of the mobile home and into a home, or actually get our home on some of our own land. The sad thing is, or the bad thing is, in the county I live in, you can't put your home. It has to be in a community. It can't just be on land. I don't. It's a headache. There's like a handful of them that are like grandfathered in. No, they are totally not like those. Those I would be like, no, let's not put let's not put a fish tank in there. Nothing bigger than a 10-gallon. Little fish tank. Little guy's good. But yeah. So I had a 40-gallon breeder that I was gonna set up, and I for a long time I was like, I should do it, and then I was like, no, I don't want to. I didn't want to take the risk right now, um, because I don't have the best luck sometimes. I'm very accident prone. I get lucky with some things, other things not so much. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think you're right about the shocking because there's an area in the back part of the community, and two of the water mains have broken. We're going on the third time now. I don't know if it's the actual main or maybe if it's a different part of the pipe in the same area, but it's really messing with the water. And last night when when I got home from the grocery store, like all of a sudden there's water all over the road again, and I'm like, no, not again. And I get home and the water pressure's like, whew. Yeah, and like I really want to get some 40-gallon breeders and like set one up as like a display tank and then get like some utility tanks going. But working on that. Definitely gonna do some summer tubbing because I can, put those out on my deck. But I'm looking into my options for summer breeding kind of stuff too. But yeah, I think they thought they had the stuff fixed, so they went ahead and shocked the well, and then yeah, it just didn't happen. You know what? I am gonna dig into these tubiflex worms, and we're gonna see if Mr. and Mrs. Pisto like these guys. Should I put a? I don't know how much of this guy I should put it. That's a big one. Maybe I should find a small piece. That's a small guy. Let's let's put this little guy in there. I came prepared. The um the only other place I lived where I had water issues, we had an apartment and the pipes busted in my bathroom and it was bad. It was so bad. But, it was an apartment, so at least they fixed it. All right, so Nerd said to put this in and stick it on the glass about midway. So there we go. And let me grab a towel. Woohoo! So hopefully Mrs. Episto will see that and go at it in a second. Like, what is that, guy? Oh, no, and it floated. No, 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 no. Where'd it go? Where did you go there, buddy? This is not wanting to stick to the glass, dude. What is going on here? Nerd, we have problems. This is not, I'm getting my hand out of the tank. Hopefully they'll just, trickle down into the tank and they'll come get them. I should have grabbed some tongs. That's my fault. She noticed. She's like, "What is that?" Danger Dan definitely noticed. He's like, "Whoa." You know what? I got this guy here. Maybe I can smear some of them onto the glass and they'll stick. I do not know what's going on there. Yeah, dude, these are not sticking. I do not know what's going on there. Well, maybe let's get some of that out of there. Or not. Well, this was an adventure. Adventures with Mousy and Tubiflex worms. Well, we did that. Hey, Liam. I I squished hard. I squished real hard. Maybe the angels will like them better. We'll have to see what happens there. There's a chunk of them in there, so maybe they'll float around. Oh, Lord. We have wormies everywhere. Yeah, look, I'm like squishing as hard as I can. I don't get it. Like, they're just like, nope, not sticking there. Mrs. Episto is like, what have you put in my tank? Like, it's sticking to the dry part of the tank. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what I did wrong there. Second time will work. Hey, Brandon, good to see ya. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Hopefully these guys will get up there and eat them. If not, water change. Yeah, they notice something's in the tank. They notice something's going down. How not to use a Tubiflex cube with Mousy. I'll get the kids to squish and see if they can make it work. Maybe I'll go get a little bit of gelatin and like coat one side of it, and yeah. Well, it looks like the little guys have noticed there's something up there. Danger Dan has definitely noticed. Danger Dan's like, if y'all don't come eat them, I'm definitely getting those. Okay, well, see, I'm glad to know it's not just me. Oh, okay, making a pancake on the glass. Okay. Well, the babies have noticed it, so that's good. Hopefully, if the babies don't get it, the snails will get up there that are in here and they'll take care of them. But yeah, we'll probably be doing a water change later anyway, so the babies are all interested. They're like, whoa, we smell food, but where is it? Danger Dan's going kind of nuts. Try to stir them up a little because we got a bunch over here. Okay, Mrs. Episto notices something going on now. It's like, whoa, what's going on up there? Yeah, well, okay. Oh, Fish family, good to see ya. I'm sorry if I missed you. It's the only fish food your cats don't eat. These do feel a little dry, so um, that's kind of disappointing. I'll have to figure those out. The angels should probably tear them up then. The epistos like to eat more at the bottom of the tank, so yeah, I'll have to get a pipette and kind of suck these guys out. Um, if the little babies don't get up there and eat them. So yeah, I guess let me give them a few pellets then, and yeah, I have to watch out with my fish flake. If I leave the Ziploc bags out, Beryl will rip into a bag. He will be like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally eating that." The veggie stuff he doesn't bother too much. Any of the veggie based ones, but whoa, that's a lot of pellets. Whoa, I'm gonna have to put these in a smaller container. I think, yeah, because whoo, a lot of pellets just came out, and those little pistos would be like, no, that's too much food. I could see Beryl eating this stuff. It smells very, very, very fishy. See, Mrs. Episto's like, there. See that? That's what I wanted. Something that's gonna fall to the ground. All right. So maybe these are not gonna be for the Epistos. I will have to figure something out. But if I can't, I know, right? Like who knew? And the shipping bags, absolutely. Like I'm glad that Nerd had told, yeah, that Nerd told me about the shipping bags because I did. I saw them, they kind of do. They kind of do, Liam. Because I have noticed my cats thinking, oh wow, we could spread these all over the house. And I'm like, don't even think about it, buddy. Man, I really wish I could get Danger Dan's eyes on camera. I'm gonna have to play around with my phone camera later and see if I can get it. He has got the bluest damn eyes. Yep. I don't know why cats love to eat plastic. It's like if I gave them the choice of cat grass or plastic, they're gonna go for the plastic every time. I don't get it. I do not get it. Oh. So yeah, Adventures with Mousy. Learning how not to stick stuff to the tank wall. I have some ideas on how to make those work if I'm gonna have problems with them because I did get them primarily, hopefully, for my Corys. So if I can't, I'm gonna try a couple more times to get them to stick, and then I think if I can't, what I will do is go grab some Knox gelatin and essentially turn those into a like put them in some water and turn them into like a Snello. So after the stream, I'm gonna post his Instagram page. My daughter adopted a cat. His name is Meatloaf. He is a big orange loafy boy, and he is very special. He was his original owner rescued him from Jordan, brought him to the States. He had to have a surgery to have his eyes removed, so he's totally blind. But that cat can hunt plastic down like no tomorrow. If he gets hold of plastic, he is definitely going to eat it. Oh, he is going to love that. he is Meatloaf is he is such a big orange loaf. And so my daughter moved to Colorado a couple of years ago. And in her transition of moving, I got to keep Meatloaf for a little while. And um, yeah, me and him, we became kind of friends. But once he got back with his mom, he kind of got a little chunky. When I say a little chunky, I mean a lot chunky. I did have like ulterior motives, but I did um I got her one of the pet cams, but that was mostly so I could watch him too. It's like, well, that way if you're at work and you can't check it, I could check in on him. So yeah, I did do that. Man, I am kind of great. Where did that other piece go? Okay, so here's the deal. I got it wet and it's sticking to the dry part of the glass just fine. So I'm gonna try this. Nope, it's just floating. I just hold it there. Will she come for it? She's looking at. He's looking at it. Maybe tongs would be better. Okay, we're just gonna get this out of here. We're gonna scrape as many of these guys up as possible, and I will wipe them out later. Maybe let them dry out and then slide them back in. Well, won't. That happened. Hey, morning, Land Lake Aquatics. I'm horrible with names, guys. I will learn them all. I know Jody's Jody. I know Kushner's Keith. Branton's Branton. Liam's Liam. Aw. Yeah, my husband kind of stole my angels. They see him and they're all like, hey, he's home. That big guy's home. He likes to give us more treats. It's like I tell him, I fed the fish. But then, I see him over there, you know, shaking some extra pellets in there. And I'm like, you're going to make them fat. And then, we end up with eggs. So I think that's how I ended up with so many fish babies. It's Mr. Mousy is double feeding my fish. Cannot wait to crack into the rest of the food and feed everyone in a little bit. Try to take some videos of that when I'm in there. Grab the phone and see how the Corys take to the krill. I'm gonna give the Superflex another couple goes. We'll see how that works. And if it does, great. If not, I will salvage that bag. Yeah, that is a good idea. Okay, something just being bonked on my thingy, and I don't know what it was. It was a notification of some sort. I really need to pull my phone up when I'm streaming and yeah, multitasking. Not my strong suit. Nope. Okay, there we go. Put that back down. All right. But yeah, so hopefully we'll see what's going on with the water situation today. I will get this water conditioner mixed up, get these guys a water change because they really need it. And yeah, so that's what's going on today. Figure out what's going on with the lights in the 29-gallon tank, get the fish fed, and start trying to get these guys out of here. I should be able to catch most of them in nets at this point. I'm thinking, maybe. I got one little guy up in the corner. He's snacking on these little worm guys. You know what? I bet you that's what it was. Did you actually start drinking at 4 a.m.? Like, I don't blame you if you did. Like, I'm jealous. Like, I should have done that too. I'm kind of jealous. Like, you know, be careful. He might touch the butt. I'm gonna try to get him out there without emptying the tank. It might not be possible, but probably what's gonna happen. Let's be realistic, guys. I'm probably gonna have to just move mom and dad a Pisto out of here. That's the feasible thing to do. The bigger baby Pistos, Danger Dan, I can probably get them out no problem. The smaller ones, that's gonna be a bitch. And I agree. I agree. I'm not gonna lie, I have thought about taking the back part off of one of my hoses and letting them go down the slide, letting them go down the water slide. I only thought about it for half a minute. I'll let you know if it happens or not. Oh my good, trying to get the Danios out of this tank was the biggest nightmare of my life. And it was only five of them. Five of those, no, six. It was six of them. So once Mr. and Mrs. Episto actually had their first batch of fry, she was getting really stressed with all the Danios being in there. I had six long fin leopard Danios in here. Probably a few more than I should have had in this little 10-gallon, but I needed a place to stick them for a moment, and it was like, we'll see how this works. It did jumpstart Mr. and Mrs. Episto into spawning. Sadly, no. Brothers and sisters, I think, ate them. So, yeah, that's another reason I want to get the babies out, is so that we can have more batches and they don't become snacks. But back to the Danios. So, when they had their first batch of eggs, one of the Danios got into Mrs. Episto's cave, and she tore him up. Um, she did a number on that little guy. So I was like, oh, yeah, got to get them out of there because if another one does it, it's just going to be the same thing. I'm going to lose them all. So grab the net. I get the first three, fine, no problems, not an issue. And was like, cool. So I go to get the rest of them, and I finally, after much hassle, get the other two, and there's one left. That guy, literally, back I have the sponge filter back here behind Mrs. Episto's cave, right? The one that actually sits on the ground. So I have that one back there and the base on it, right? He got between the sponge filter and the base where there's that little bitty gap and wrapped himself around it. I literally had to put the sponge filter in the net and shake it to get him out. It was, ooh, hmm, Oh, ow. That sounds painful. I do. It's always last one because it's learned from the rest of them. It's like, yeah, yeah, I see what you're doing. Yeah. And then Stella. Oh, Stella. See, I keep telling Mr. Mousy we need to get an RV. My my bristle nose Pleco, Stella. Oh my goodness. Me and that woman, it took me 2 months to get her out of that tank. We finally got a big enough net that I could catch her in one of the caves and get her out. But she fought it every step of the way. That woman is one tough little Pleco. Yeah. So hopefully, if my water will stay on long enough, I will get her and Mr. Whiskers moved to a more suitable filming spot, and we will see more of them because they are spawning like crazy. Yeah, after all this food I dumped in here this morning, I'm totally gonna have to get these guys a water change. Oh man, it's okay. It was worth it. Totally worth it. But see, RVs and campgrounds are great because it's like a small house. Yeah, Stella. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, Stella. That was a rough one. I am not very good at catching fish. Luckily, one of my kids has more patience than me and will sit there and, you know, try more than I will. I try to get them and then I get mad and then I start thinking about ways of sucking them down a hose into another container. And then I think that wouldn't be nice. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. Just come and vacuum me out of my home. So I won't do that to them. I'm sure people have done it before. I mean, I do it to brine shrimp all the time. See, hotels have ups and downs, good spots or, good things, bad things. It's also time to clean all the sponge filters. The kids are really going to love me for that one. At least I don't make them actually clean the sponge filters. I'm like, hey, just help me get them out of the tank so I don't pull the tank down on me. Very clumsy. I am very clumsy. Well, oh, filters. Yeah, I wanted to talk about filters. Me and Fish Nerd, we looked at some filters last night. I think I've narrowed it down to what I'm gonna get, but I need a good filter for a 29 gallon, either hang on back or canister, either of those two. But the hang on back that I've got now, it came from one of those all in one kits, like it was a 29 gallon like startup tank, and it's just not cutting it. It's probably not going to last 2 more weeks if we're being honest. Um, but if any of y'all have any suggestions, just pop them in the comment section at the end of the stream or on the community tab. Grab a post. I'll put a post up later about filter suggestions. If you've got one, then let me know. I have okay. What I'd like to find is something similar to the Awasi Filto Smart. I think I have either the 100 or the 200. Probably the 100 on my 29 gallon. That's a great filter. Um, but that tank it's got a lot of stocking in it, so I do need to get some better filtration on it, or take some of the fish out of that tank. But it seems to be okay for now. But again, I do need to get like some sort of better filtration on it. I do have another yeah, it's a 29 gallon. Oop, yeah. And I have the Awasi Filto Smart on my for my other 29, but I was looking for something that's, works just as well as that, but maybe a little lower cost. Um, the one I've got, because I was looking on Amazon and it's like $130 for that filter now. And I was like, man, if I only knew that a year ago, I would have totally bought two of these. Yeah, and me and Nerd were looking, at an FX6, but that might be a little too much for, might be a little overkill for the 29 gallon. And like right now, I've got a sponge filter and I've got a hang on back on there, and yeah, it's just I think once and I do have a pre-filter on my hang on back, which I may take off because I don't think the Danios are going to get caught up in it. They're a little bigger than the guppies were. When I had guppies on there, in that tank, I had totally had to keep a sponge over the intake of the hang on back, or else they would have gotten sucked right into there. But once I move the Danios out, I think it'll be okay to just take that off, and that might even solve some of my problems. I'll just have to keep fiddling with it. You did mention those. I need to try to find some. And I do have an internal filter that I could use in the 29, like if this one does go out until I get another, like something a little better. Um, but yeah, I think it was my choice of sponge filter I put in there that was mostly the problem. And I really, really, really think what I'm gonna end up doing is tearing that whole tank down and just restarting. I have been highly considering that for like the past week and just setting it all back up again. And then Fish Nerd found some pygmy chain swords last night, and now it's like I really want to get those too. So, you know, yes, once I moved most of the Danios out, if I can get them all out, my luck, I'll end up getting them out, and then all of a sudden I'll find like three new Danger Dans in that tank, kind of like I did with this one, except just the one in here. I thought I got all the Danios out of here, but one stayed behind because they were throwing eggs everywhere, which explains why Mr. and Mrs. Episto started having babies. They were eating the eggs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna redo that tank. I'd like to get some more, caves in there for the plecos. Ooh, it won't let me click the link. I'm gonna have to go back and click that link in a minute. Once the stream's over. Oh, well, you guys know it's we're right at that hour mark. So yeah, if that is the hang on back, then I'm gonna totally check that out. Because yeah, we found me and her when we were looking last night, we did find an Odyssey canister. And it surprisingly wasn't that expensive, so I was kind of intrigued about that too. But yeah, all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up for this morning and go get the rest of these fish fed and see what I can do about cleaning this tank up. Start trying to grab babies, see where I'm gonna put them. Yep, I'm gonna be moving fish. That's the fun thing this weekend. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I will check that out. All right. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a great morning. I will see y'all Saturday night. I think me and Nerd we are on this weekend. So y'all have a good day. Stay warm, and yeah. See y'all later.